Alright, y'all, today we're gonna go ahead and make some taco soup. It's a really nice filling dish and it is pretty cheap to make. So what you're gonna do is you're going to start with a medium to large size pot, just so you have enough room for all of these ingredients to fit. There are a lot of canned items, so not a whole bunch of chopping. So you're gonna start with some oil. I have some tallow here that I need to get through that I did get from Thrive Market. I am new to using tallow, so it's a slow going process on using up this jar. But you're going to get your oil into your pan, get it heated up, and you are going to chop up an onion and add that into Sauté. My onions do look a little odd here, but I ran out of onions and I had freeze-dried onions, so I rehydrated those. So if you think, oh, your onions look a little weird, that's probably why. And then you are also going to dice up a jalapeno and put that in the pot with it. And you're going to saute that until it is nice and translucent and the veggies are soft. Now, this is a really, really great meal for fall and winter and anytime it's like chilly outside or rainy and you just want to snuggle up with a nice bowl of soup. This is a perfect go-to. All right, once your veggies are nice and translucent, you are going to add in a pound of ground beef. My family does like a little extra meat in this soup, so we go ahead and add 1.5 pounds. You can use ground beef, you can use ground pork, you can use ground turkey, whatever minced meat you have access to. It's, like I said, this is a pretty easy dish, and it's pretty versatile in what you're able to put in it to get it to come together and just have a good wholesome soup. Once you get your meat of choice nice and browned up with those veggies, we're going to start adding in our seasonings. So the first thing we're going to put in is a packet of ranch dressing mix. Make sure that you do not get the dip. It needs to be the dressing and seasoning mix. For whatever reason, the dip just doesn't make it as good, I guess. I don't know, it makes it kind of weird, but get just the seasoning. Then we're going to add in some onion powder, just whatever your heart tells you to add in. Sometimes I add a lot more than I did here. Next, we're also going to do garlic powder. Again, measure with your heart. Some people like a lot more garlic than others. All right, next we're going to add in some pepper. I like to use this oak smoked pepper. It gives it a nice smoky flavor. Obviously it says it in the name, but it gives it a nice little extra flavor in there. But you can use whatever kind of pepper you want. You can even throw in cayenne if you like it extra spicy on top of your jalapeno. But if you do like your soup a little spicier, you can definitely add in more than 1 jalapeno. At some points in my life, I threw in 4 jalapenos because one just was not cutting it for me. So what we are going to do next is we're going to start adding in our canned items. Now, I didn't have any canned beef broth, so I dissolved a packet of beef broth into a cup of water and went ahead and poured that in. You're also going to add in a whole can of rotel. Now, you are not going to drain any of these cans because that's what's going to make this soup a soup, is all the liquid. So we've got our can of rotel in there. Next, I like to use fire roasted tomatoes. You can use petite diced, you can use onions added, garlic added, whatever tomatoes your family likes. We're also going to add a can of hominy. I like to use the white hominy. It's a nice color contrast. Then you're going to add in ranch style beans. Now, I usually use the black can. I can't remember the brand. But it's a black can. It says Texas style ranch beans. That's a really good one to use. I found this can was actually a little cheaper, so I grabbed this one. It's just the store brand, which is an awesome brand. So they've never failed me. So I've got that one. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up a little bit. And then we still have, I believe, corn that we're going to add in. Oh, yes. Add in salt to your heart's content. Sometimes this soup really doesn't need any extra salt, so definitely taste it as you go, or you can let it heat up and add salt at the end because the salt will dissolve in really easily. So next we're going to add in our sweet corn. I don't like canned corn. For some reason it tastes really weird to me. So I like to add in frozen corn, and it doesn't affect the texture or anything at all. You just need to heat it up a little longer because it is frozen. But that white hominy with the contrast of the yellow corn is just such a pretty array of colors with all the tomatoes and the green jalapenos. I do like to add in sometimes a second can of hominy if I want it to be a little heartier than just corn, but we're going to go ahead and let this simmer. As your soup is simmering, make sure you come back and stir it. That way you don't have your ingredients sticking to the bottom of the pan and burning, because that does happen. If you just keep it on medium to medium low and just let all the flavors marry, that is the best way to go. So once your soup is heated up to your liking, I like to put crushed up tortilla chips in the bottom. It adds a nice little extra level of saltiness. If you don't like it super salty, don't add the salt into your soup later. The chips will do it for you. And just ladle a good heaping ladleful of taco soup over your crushed up tortilla chips. You can have it just like this, mix it up and eat it. It's awesome, but it is also really good with a little dollop of sour cream, and it's really good with cheese on top as well. If you are not feeling soup, you could also just, when you spoon some of that into a bowl, just drain off the liquid and leave the liquid in the pot and use chips to eat it like a dip. It works awesome that way. All right, so here we have our taco soup ready to eat, looking great. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. It is a very family-friendly, cook-friendly, beginner-friendly meal that is filling and gives you plenty of leftovers, especially if you're cooking for just yourself or a small family. Hope y'all enjoy. We'll see you next time.